Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn.
What's up, everyone? How are you doing today? Let's look at the market again. How are we doing with the price of Bitcoin? What is the crypto sentiment these days? I mean, we felt quite a lot, and so what is to expect next? Basically, probably from the stage of like $6,000 or something, I've started to sound a bit more bearish, and when we felt we were like somewhere around even here and all the way down here, I was continuing to say that, guys, it's not the end. We're like, even here I was saying that, guys, I would expect much lower price, and here I was saying the same, but all the way down here I was saying buy, because we don't know where the bottom is. So, and I guess this sort of an approach, sort of this sentiment, is not the one which a lot of people appreciate. So that's why I have quite a lot of the dislikes recently, comparing to the usual ones, which I usually have no dislikes at all. But now I have like 2 dislikes here, 4 dislikes over there, and I perfectly understand that. Like, people don't want to hear that let's do some risky thing. Like, they think, whoa, if you think that it will fall even lower, why you tell us to buy here? Why wouldn't you tell us where to buy? Or like, when you will feel that the bottom was set, why wouldn't you tell us to buy over there? It's perfectly clear. However, here is my point, guys. If you are not a professional trader, if you don't have like your 60% of your trades profitable, if you didn't spend 20 years on Wall Street and everything, then it's very unlikely that you will be able to make any able to have any reasonable chance to define this bottom of this fall. This is used to be called catching a falling knife, and this is perfectly correct, because even now, for example, a lot of people are calling for $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, whatever. But even now, you see like there's a reasonable volume here. If you'll switch to 1-day chart, it's actually not that bad, even comparing to the February. However, also, by the way, it's not that big a deal, because like you see, we dropped here to much lower level, but the overall volume was here like much bigger, but here like 2-3 candles. But anyway, the thing is, nobody actually can define what is the bottom at this current stage, where it will be. And even if it will happen, like for example, we will fall down to, let's say, $2,000, and after that we will grow, make a V-shaped reversal, we'll have much bigger volume, and we'll grow up to, I don't know, $5,000 or $6,000 or more. At which stage you would decide that, okay, this is the reversal? I'm asking you, which level of the price, which other indicators will you use, and what kind of the risk, what kind of certainty would you have to this decision? In my strong belief, it's very like at least 50-50. So because let's say it reached $10,000 after touching $2,000, and we have the volume, we have RSI and MACD and everything following this trend. So what you would see next is that you decided, okay, this is the reversal. Now Bitcoin goes to like $100,000 or whatever new all-time high would be, and you decided to buy in. Yeah, of course you didn't buy at $2,000, but who cares if you like didn't catch this move, because you still have a lot of room to grow eventually. So you buy $10,000, and after that it drops back to $2,000 and actually like first to 8, 7, 6, 4, 2, 1. What do? Would you sell it? At which stage? At which loss would you fix? Again, if you would be a professional trader, you would make a very short stop loss. But if you're not, then you will make a tons of mistakes on the way, and probably you will lose a lot of your capital because of that. What I'm saying though is that while in 2017 there was a very nice strategy calling hodling, when if you're not a professional trader, then you don't need to basically make a lot of trades. You just need to buy somewhere along the way, and you will hodl until you will have huge profit. Then this was relatively effective strategy. Here, the efficient strategy is different. Hodling doesn't work on the bear market. The efficient strategy here is dollar cost averaging. So whenever you see the new bottom, whatever it's 6,000 or below 6,000, it's reasonable to buy in. If it is $4,000, it's reasonable to buy in. If you see that you have new higher high, new higher high, then you make you could fix the profit partially. But if it drops again from that point, you need to buy in again. This is my strategy. This is why I'm strongly stand on this point. And of course, everything which I say is my personal opinion, not a financial advice. You should remember that and take your make your decisions on your own. Don't follow blindly my advices, which are not advices. In fact, this is my just rambling, a random guy rambling on the internet. So I hope that it is clear now, and that is what I'm saying. Finally, what I would expect at the moment, what will happen. But with all that uncertainty, what I would like to stress first is that you remember you see this now, and we've seen it before, that we had some kind of correction upwards, and then we made it fall after that. After we hit like 4,780 or something on Bitfinex, and you see now even though the volume is a bit higher than usual, we see sort of a struggle between the bears and bulls, and in fact a lot of the altcoins at this area are showing some kind of the profits, like 10%, 20%, and even now you see like recent few hours we see this increase in price, few green candles, hourly candles, and a lot of people are saying that, hey, this is probably the bottom, and it makes sense. However, speaking about the altcoins, on such a low market, when we have like $140+ billion total capitalization, I don't think that it costs too much to push some cheap altcoin up to 10 to 20%. And this is just the way to make people buy in, even now when we have such a strong bearish pattern, bearish scenario on the way. Second thing is that you see we finally approached the level when we have at least some volume, trading volume happening. And as soon as we're going a little lower, we see this weeks going higher with the trading volume. It means that the buying pressure of those levels is high. So now we need to exhaust people enough to make like buyers like put all of the maximum amount of the capital they could before trying to push the price even lower. Why I'm thinking that we need to push that lower? Because if we would have the bottom already, then again the volume would be much bigger, the reversal will be much stronger and faster, and the fight at this level will be much more intense. Again, it sort of goes in contradiction of what I'm saying, that it's hard to define the bottom, but this is just my opinion. So we need to stick with something, and a part of the general strategy of averaging on the way down, we still need to like expect something, think of the possible evolution of the price in future. So again, there is no volume, also like significant volume. Also, the just imagine that you'd have to push the price lower, but you see this volume happening as soon as you go up. It was basically the same as we had here, like we already talked about that. So you see here it was the volume, and as soon as we went down, here it was the tick of the volume, here it was the tick of the volume. But finally, when we push it a little higher, just like we're doing here and here, we see just much lower volume around these areas, and as soon as we got that, then we felt. So this is what I would expect to happen again. And personally, my like expectation, I would say like $3,500 is maybe 50%. I would give this to be the bottom. $3,000 maybe more 20%, and the rest like $2,500, $2,000 and lower, even $1,000. I wouldn't exclude this as a possibility. Just let's look at what would happen and continue. If you would follow the same principles as I do, you would probably have like 50% of your investment portfolio left in fiat at this moment, and if we'll go even lower, then you would have pretty much nice position to average your entry. Finally, which I was going to say is that we can look at the general behavior of the traditional markets. For example, let's look at the Nasdaq, and what we see here is that we have lower highs, 1, 2, 3, even 4 lower highs along the way from October, from beginning of October, when we see this drop. We have lower lows, 1, 2, 3 lower lows. What it means? It means that technically this is the bearish trend, the falling trend. And although here all the media were saying that, oh, we are just in the correction, it is a nice opportunity to buy. Here they say the same thing. I wonder, I didn't actually check today, but what do they say now? Is it like an opportunity to buy? It seems like as soon as it will fall even lower, then the sentiment will change, and probably we'll see more and more bearish saying about this on media and among the huge investors and everything. And when we'll hit 16-20% correction from this point, it would be technically like bear market already, and this will escalate even faster. So it's, of course, like Dow Jones and Standard & Poor's are not that bad, but you see it's still like Nasdaq is much more like stronger affected by the sentiment and in general, like it reflects the market much with higher amplitude of the weeks. The reason is also that we recently had not recent, but like the thing which you need to consider is that recently we had a sharp drop of the price for the oil, and usually oil indicates some instability or some huge moves in the market. Actually, it's actually quite sensitive to any kind of the move of the market, but when it drops or goes a certain direction in a very big level, big value, big, like, I don't know, make a huge move in the price, then it means that something is not good. And what is not good now? I think the tech stocks are falling. And I don't know, maybe it is not, maybe I'm wrong, but this is my stake on that, this is my bet. And as soon as they are falling, as soon as they will go even lower and lower and lower and lower, we will see that the capital will flee from those markets. And again, where will it go? It could go to standard commodities, to gold, to precious metals, and everything which is low now, maybe American bonds. But eventually, by the way, if it will go below this point, that will be the panic, I think, because you see this crucial two dips. In any case, as soon as it will go that low, then we'll see the capital going somewhere else, including, I believe, including cryptocurrencies. And the fact that this market, like traditional market, is at the very high level yet still, and at the same time crypto is approaching to its low as the bottom of the correction, I think that this would be a perfect entry for many of the traditional capital, and actually then this would make a great impact, a positive impact for the price of Bitcoin. This is my expectation. Of course, everything which I say is my personal opinion and not financial advice, and you should understand that I've never claimed that you need to do this and or that, and of course you need to trade only the money that you have to like free money which you don't use and which you can afford to lose. But for example, you can buy whatever price it is and wait for 10 years, and it will not affect any kind of your financial stability or something. You don't need to take any loans, you don't need to borrow money. This is absolutely insane. What you need is to be very careful with that and like put a very little, but just enough to become get a nice profit on the way up, but still be safe in your financial conditions. And in my case, I mean, I'm fine with that. I can I don't mind. I will not be wrecked if I will lose this money, or those money will be frozen for a lot of time, and eventually I think that they will be rewarded. This will be rewarded. And the thing is, again, it's sort of a question of the belief. A lot of people are saying that how do you know that Bitcoin will not go to zero, will not disappear? Well, you know, guys, there are different indicators, different factors. In my opinion, for example, you can see that a lot of the capital, and not only the money, like you can look at the mining, you can look at the companies are growing around crypto, around blockchain. You can see about the regulation are quite positive this year, and everything is going just upwards except the price. But it cannot last long. Someday the price will approach to the same level as all other factors, fundamental factors about this asset. And not only the financial capital, but also intellectual capital, brains are flowing to this direction. You can find a lot of people, smart, genius people, who are abandoning the traditional markets, traditional capital, traditional banking investments and Wall Street and whatever. They move to this space because they expect this to be huge eventually, and those people, they usually don't make mistakes. This is the first thing. And second, as soon as we have such a huge support from capital and intellect and resources, like human resources, this would make additional boost this to grow. Okay, so that is my standpoint. This is what I believe and I think would happen in the long run. I hope now it is clear. Please leave a like if you like the content, if you think it is useful and correct. If you don't, then please leave a dislike, and I would greatly appreciate if you not only push this dislike button, but also send me a short message. Why do you think this is wrong, and what do you think I shall consider in a different way? Like, I don't know, so far I didn't find any kind of the reasonable arguments against that. Please subscribe, please follow me on Twitter. Hope that you will have a safe trading, and see you tomorrow in the next update. Goodbye, guys.